had polluted. So we had some of them come in to testify, and we had the media there, and then we gave them a letter, and we said, if you touch this ordinance, we are going to sue you. And they took an executive session, and they came back, and they said, okay, we're not touching the ordinance. Now that was August 2009. 3 years later, now the Attorney General has just started moving on the litigation. And it appears that some people in our township who are supposed to be protecting us are folding on some things. I got into the agriculture with the Marcellus Shale. This is how I got into the shale gas drilling, because being a nonprofit, what we do, we advocate for sustainable farming. One of the problems that farmers reach out for factory farming is because they can't make a living, and a corporation comes in and sells them a good deal, just like they do with the gas company. You're gonna get rich, here you go, here's your lifeline. So I started getting phone calls from farms in PA. Farms that had either signed a lease, and I never blame the people, do not blame the people that signed leases. I see this an awful lot in communities, because these people were not told the truth. They were not sold a bill of goods. Nobody would sign if they knew the realities of what can happen. And that's my gripe, is that this should be a very open discussion, because you're dealing with people's investments. I mean, I'm sure your farm is your entire investment in your life. And that's what's happening in our way, or in Pennsylvania. So learn from it, because we saw the same things that happened in states where they were doing it before us. So it's a pattern. There's no kind of magic bubble around Ohio that's gonna make it any different or more protected than any of the other states that this is going on in. I work with 2 farmers in the northeastern part of our state, which is a very heavily drilled area, Bradford County. One has a conventional dairy, the other has an organic dairy. Both signed leases, both thought that they could keep their children on the farm, give them a better life. You know, it sounded good when they came to the banging on the door. You know, we're going to get off foreign fuel, and we're going to do all this, and you know, it's patriotic, and it sounded like a good deal to them, and they signed. Carol French, who has been very vocal, her water is the color of the white flowers there, and it's like jelly. Her cows have rashes on them. You can actually pull the skin off of them. This food is, the milk, excuse me, is going into our food supply, into our school lunch programs. We all eat. I don't care if you live near a well or not. The same thing's happening at the other Carol and Knapp's farm. They all have rashes. My friend Sherry Vargason, she has a vented well with her on her farm because it was contaminated with methane. She had to get rid of her daughter-in-law's horses that were in the barn, the pigs, the cattle she had to sell to Cargill for condemned meat because the vet told her from what he saw on the water test that there could be internal organ damage and they were not safe to eat. I have friends on the western side of the state who have had cows born with white eyes, no pupil, stillborn, blue eyes, no pupil. I've seen goats, just the head being born. The problem, a lot of our farmers do not make a living wage at all. They can't afford to lose animals. If they see that the animals are getting sick, a lot of times they're taken to market, to auction. This is all going into our food supply. We have reached out to various agencies that are supposed to be protecting us. Matter of fact, somebody pretty high up in the farming community in a power position has a $1.5 million lease. At a forum, he told me he was insulted that I would ask a question about birth defects, half production of the milk sterilization of the animals. This is serious stuff, and the truth is not coming out in the public because they have a lot of money. I don't know how many ads, how many you see per hour on TV, and I'm sure you see quite a few. They have a lot of money. They have given politicians a lot of money. They have given our governor in PA $1.8 million. It's a lot of money. They don't do that because they like you.